Hey everyone, good morning or good afternoon or good evening. I thought I would make a message that addresses the back to basics of the work we're doing here. And in particular, I've got heartbreaking messages from guys in and outside the group telling me I'm too weak, I'm addicted to pornography and I'm trying to fight this and I'm just weak and I can't beat it. So let me explain why you can't beat it, and therefore it will explain why you're not weak. Pornography, let's try again. Addiction is a symptom. Addiction is a symptom of a void or a lack we have in ourselves. And this void or lack, people say it's a lack of connection. There's a traditional saying, addiction comes from a lack of connection. And I agree in the sense that it's a lack of connection to self. And the disconnect to self happens because there is some trauma. There is some need in our childhood that have not been met, and therefore we have integrated that these needs will never be met, and that creates a wound that we carry all along our lives. And until we open that chapter again through introspection or meditation or therapy or whatever, this wound will never heal. And this wound is unconscious. We have repressed this side of our lives in the shadow, in our dark side. And you can think about, why is the repressed and the dark side the same thing? Think about that. And so we never address this ever again consciously, and so we need unconscious tools to address that. And as it turns out, your unconscious mind is the decision maker, because you have no control over what the unconscious mind is doing. When the unconscious mind makes a decision, it will always beat the conscious mind. And so, if your wound, which is unconscious, decides to crave pornography, for reasons I will explain in a second, there's nothing you can do about it consciously. You can decide that you will never watch pornography again. You can decide everything you want. It doesn't matter, because it's the unconscious part of you that wants to watch pornography will always win. And it's not that you're weak. It's the design of the brain, or rather the design of the mind. The unconscious mind always beats the conscious mind. So the thing you want to do is to understand your unconscious mind and stop beating yourself about your conscious decisions that you cannot honor. Because by design, you cannot honor those decisions. And so where did I go with that? The shadow, pornography, I'm missing a link here. Shadow, pornography, the unconscious decides, okay, and why does your unconscious crave pornography anyway? Pornography is a replay of the core wound. Pornography is a replay of the wound you carry. Pornography is taboo for everyone in the world, not because everything that's in there is taboo. You can watch pornography and feel like, oh, that's not taboo, that's okay. But because we make pornography taboo for ourselves. We make pornography taboo for ourselves. And why is it taboo? Because it's a replay of the wound. The wound, we don't want to see the wound. The wound hurts. We don't want to know it's there. And yet there are coping mechanisms that get developed to bypass the wound. Maladaptive mechanisms that exist to bypass the wound. Watching pornography is one of them. But there's also archetypal constructs at play. Transfers of power from one archetype to another. So, pornography is a replay of the core wound, of your core wound. The pornography you consume is an exact replica in the sexual realm and the imaginary realm. The pornography doesn't need to be imaginary, but what's happening in pornography stimulates your imaginary, because it's a replay of the core wound. And that's why we crave it so much. It feels like we're healing when we're watching pornography. We feel heard. The shadow feels heard. This dark side in us feels like it can express itself. But it's not the case. It's not expressing itself. It's being fed more of the wound. You're nurturing the wound instead of nurturing a healing aspect for you, or healing your higher self, whatever that means for you, your inner spirit, your inner parent, your inner child. Yes. And so what can you do? The first thing you can do is learn how to connect to your unconscious mind with me or someone else. And the second thing you can do is to stop trying to stop. you can try to stop. Try to stop for 7 days. If it works, great. You're free from pornography. Woohoo! Congratulations. To know that, you'll have to wait 6 months though. Try for 7 days if you feel like it's going well. Wait all the way up to 6 months. If you've done it for 6 months, you're probably free from pornography. Congratulations. That would be the case of mild addiction. If you have a stronger addiction, this is not going to work. You can try it. You can try it. You can try it 1 time. You can try it 3 times. You can try it 10 times. You can try it 20 times until you get desperate. But I don't want you to get desperate. I want you to be intelligent with the way you process information about yourself. So, what's another thing you can do? Stop blaming yourself. You can blame yourself all you want. It's not going to change anything. Just create more despair. Understand your unconscious mind. Understand the powers at play. Understand that pornography is a replay of your core wound. Learn about your core wound. Yes. And instead of saying, I'm watching pornography, I'm bad, I'm this and that, use the word shadow. Try to understand how many people is there inside you. Think about 10 seconds before you ejaculate. Let's say you ejaculate to pornography. Think about 10 minutes before you get your high or your release. 10 seconds before you get your high or your release. Think about that person. Think about 10 seconds after you had your release. There's only, let's say 1 minute between these two instances in you. These are two different people. These are two different behaviors, two different identities, two different needs, a completely different person. So I, is actually a bunch of people together. So we want to understand who are those people. And I've got a call right now coming up, so call it your shadow. Call it your shadow. If that makes sense, we can work together. You can hook up a 15-minute call with me. Call it a discovery call. Do it, please. It would be awesome. This is a terrible video ending. I got to take this call. Much love, and keep up the good work.